My job, my primary function, is to create a balance and avoid a war.
Hi, Hugh. So my name is Michelle with The Extra Mile. So season 3 is back, and I just watched the first episode, and I think the viewers are in for a treat. So I just want to say on behalf of our team, congrats and on the new season, and really excited to see what's on its way. So I kind of just want to, yeah, no, of course. I just want to talk a little bit about kind of how the idea of Mayor of Kingstown even came about and the collaboration on how the collaboration came about with Taylor Sheridan and how you got Jeremy Renner on board and what that was like.
Yeah, I mean, it's very organic. Michelle, they start with conversations, really. And Taylor and I talked about it 20 years ago. I mean, the genesis is I'm from a town that had 9 penitentiaries when I grew up. So it's Kingstown, Ontario, Canada, and it had a prison for women, maximum, medium. It had KP, which was Kingston Penitentiary. And that had always stayed with me. So by the time my career had moved to Los Angeles, I'd met Taylor Sheridan. He was my acting coach, and he coached me on, 100 episodes of TV, 30 episodes of Durham County. He helped me get that job. He coached me on 75 episodes of Flashpoint. And in that time, I'd know my lines and I'd get it, but I loved hanging out with him because we would just dream. We would just talk about what do we really want to do? What would we do if we got the opportunity? And I recognized in him his ability to take apart scenes and worlds and really be able to, kind of explain them back to me, because then I'd go, and audition and get the job, and then we'd get into it. And then I'd always be coming back talking about the geography of filmmaking. And he was so passionate about it, and he knew so much, and he's still my mentor. And then one day I said, I know I've got the show. Here's the opening scene. And he went, that's good. And I brought a printer over, and we started, and we had the first 5 scripts in 2 months. I think he had that first script in a week, and we just were talking, and then we'd put it away. And he got Yellowstone. He got Sicario first, and that set him up. And then he got Yellowstone. We were going to come back and do this later. And then Wind River, he'd written Wind River, and he said, come and do Wind River, and we'll get back to Mayor. And I met Renner, and he thought he'd be right for Mike McCluskey. And I went, for sure he'd be right, but we're never going to get a global movie star to be in this. And Renner loved it. And Renner's just really an authentic individual, very talented and funny, and all the things that you would hope someone like that would be. And then, fast forward was COVID, and we'd finished Yellowstone, and I'd finished Yellowstone, the show's still going. And I had scouted Kingston my whole life in that penitentiary. So I was sending Taylor Sheridan pictures of the pen. And by that time it was decommissioned. I said, we could shoot here, we can use it. And the deal happened. And then Renner got on board. And then I drove to Texas, and we hammered out the last 5 scripts of season 1. And then I drove back to Toronto, and then drove to Kingston, and we got ready for production. And then Diane Wiest and Jeremy Renner were on board, and it's just been a tsunami since, just of creativity, and then, life things, and then really supporting Jeremy with his accident to get us here to season 3.
That's awesome. We made it all the way to season 3. So what about you? What would you say exactly drew you into the role of Ian Ferguson?
Well, I created the show, so it's not like I wasn't drawn to it. It was mine. And why I liked it was so much of the show is based on, like I said, characters that we grew up with and people we knew. And in this case, Ian Goodfellow was a good friend of mine. He was, growing up, and he had passed away, committed suicide when he was 27, and he was very funny, and he was just such a part of who I am that I moved the parts of him that were just super funny and positive and fearless and loyal into this character. And it just fits with the Renner character. And Renner knows people that are like, he's got a friend that is very much like the Ian character in real life. And that's kind of what it is. It's the Renner character was also based on a guy I knew in Kingston who was just very, could see right through you, very hyper emotionally intelligent, and had been through the ringer, but was still a person who was very much on the road to redemption. So a lot of it is just who we know and our feelings and just finding that emotional kind of truth that we all kind of look for, and making sure that it lands in something that we can locate that is honest and funny and dark or whatever it is. I worked at the hospital for sick children for 5 years, so I had a wealth of experience that I could bring to the party.
It's awesome. Actually, I just want to touch base on that. I mean, looking back at your diverse career, you went from music to acting and, co-creating a series. What would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of your whole journey?
Just the ability to have a great relationship with my wife, Midori. That's the thing that's not talked about professionally, but that's really what it's all about. And then the rest of it is just it allows me to do what I wanted to do my entire life, which is to create and spend my life in the arts and not battle to do so. And the battle was the band to get there, and then it's stepping stones. And it's sometimes they take decades, and sometimes they take your entire life to get where you want to be. But to finish a season like this that was so meaningful with our friend in trouble, and then with the love of his family and all these great people and Taylor Sheridan and everyone coming together to make this something special for him. That's what it's all about. Everybody wins. It's you win emotionally, you win, just creatively. Your relationships with other people are stronger and more authentic. It's just exceptional.
No, that was a great answer. So, I mean, I guess I'm curious, like, how do you see the future of Mayor of Kingstown evolving? Without giving too much away, obviously the season, are there any particular direction or themes that you're kind of excited to explore in, potential future seasons, or anything that you could tell us?
Yeah, I mean, this season really is, excuse me, it's really, really well constructed, because as we were putting it together, our whole goal was, I want the scripts. So when I go up and talk to Jeremy and he's trying to recover and get out of his wheelchair, to his walker, to his cane, I want him to see that these scripts have guts and meaning and humor, and they did. So when he read them, he would be inspired. And what comes next? And if you can get that, you're on your way. And so that's how we constructed this season. Having said that, season 4, 5 are we've got some really explosive things kind of mapped out. And Taylor Sheridan has the finale, which he says is season 7. So the finale that he's told me, well, long ago, probably 10 years ago, is crazy. And when we get there, that is the gift of Taylor Sheridan.
We're in for a surprise. So, this is probably my last question. So we're all about going the extra mile. What would you say is one thing that you do, whether that be in your professional life or personal life, where you go the extra mile?
Every single thing you do, return every phone call, help people who need help, really do what you say you're going to do. That's my number one thing. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And And that's how we've kind of got here. I mean, Taylor Sheridan and myself, that's a perfect example. That was a handshake deal. No agents, no managers. We just looked at each other in the eye, let's do this. Me and Renner at the front of this season at his house with his mom, we're going to get to the end and we're going to say we did it. It's just a, just commit and really, that's all you have.
I love it. Well, hey, thank you so much. That's all for me. I'm excited for all the viewers to see what's up for the season.
Great questions and thank you.
Thank you.